Tonight, we save the entire world. A quite interesting man drives our reasonably priced car, and we literally set fire to Dorset. We start tonight on our track. This is a place of screaming engines and tyre smoke. It is a cathedral to the god of thunder and the mistress of power. This is the brand new Aston Martin DB9. It's almost certainly the best car I drove in 2004, and without a doubt it's the best looking car on sale today. Amazingly, one of the car magazines says this new Aston Martin DB9 isn't all it's cracked up to be. They say the steering's wrong and the high-speed handling is all to cop. Are they mad? Looks? Well, it's not quite as pretty as I said earlier as the DB7. But that's like saying Uma Thurman isn't quite as pretty as Cameron Diaz. It's still an astonishing beauty. Price? Well, at £103,000, it's not what you'd call cheap. That's the sound of a 6-litre V12. Basically, it's two Mondeo V6s nailed together and enlivened with one of those active exhausts. The result of that is 450 brake horsepower. And the result of that is 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds and a top speed of 186. Anyway, it is now time to see how fast this goes round our track, and that of course means handing it over to our tame racing driver. Some say that he knows 2 facts about ducks, and both of them are wrong. And that 61 years ago, he accidentally introduced Her Majesty the Queen to a Greek racialist. All we know is, I'm going to the Tower now to have my head cut off. Yes. And he is called the Stig. And he's off, slew a wheel spin and a V12 bellow. Thundering down to the first corner. It's wet out there today. Let's see how that affects things. Found a pretty steady path through there. No problems so far. Brilliant. Across the line. It's now time to put a star in our reasonably priced car. Now, because of the budget issues this week, we did have a bit of a problem. Tom Cruise, for example, was going to charge us £150. Bonio, out of U2, wanted 175 quid to come over here. So, the Toyota Prius. Now, to make this as economical as possible, they go to the ends of the earth, quite literally. I mean, the nickel, okay, that they use to make the batteries that power the electric motor, that comes from a mine in Canada. Now, nickel mining is a filthy business, a lot of sulphur and acid rain, but no matter. They load it on an enormous cargo ship, sent to Europe where it's refined, then on to China where it's turned into a sort of foam, then to Japan where it's put in the batteries and into the car. It's so complicated, in fact, to make a Prius that a recent study found that in the long term it does more environmental damage than a Land Rover Discovery. But, no, it's true, but it is at least economical. Or is it? Because of this thirst, and because Americans think £2.20 a gallon is expensive, a lot of people in the trendier bits of America are now switching to the god-awful Toyota Prius. This is one of my least favourite cars in the world because, so far as I can see, it appeals on no levels at all. It certainly isn't pretty. Honestly, I'd rather look at a baboon. In fact, come to think of it, I'd rather look at the back of a baboon. And nor does it score many marks for quality. In a desperate bid to keep the weight down, they seem to have made it out of tracing paper. In a crash, I always imagine it'll offer the same protection as a carrier bag. So, what about speed? Let's find out. Nope, it hasn't got any. They say it does 0 to 60 in 10.9 seconds. They say it does 106 miles an hour. But then they also say it will do 66 miles to the gallon. Yeah, right. If you drive normally, not fast, not mad in any way, you'll get 45 miles to the gallon, tops. Anything that drinks more than this is the England cricket team. So if it's economy you're after, or if you have a need in some way to save the planet, buy a Golf diesel. I promise it'll be better. So, what are we going to do with it? Meet Billy Bob. He thinks Deliverance is a documentary, and his top 3 loves are, in reverse order, his cousin, his collection of guns, and at number 1, his pickup truck. Top 3 things Billy Bob doesn't like: mineral water, environmentalists, and above all else, people leaving their cars in his parking space. All Billy Bob ever thinks is, I need a bigger gun.